Hey everybody, welcome back to Fail Along With Me. I am Oddjob, and today, your fail master. Yeah, so it's been a while since it's been a while! Start singing karaoke on here. I've had a little bit of bourbon already, so, oh, my ice is melted too. Um, I usually don't do it. I usually drink it neat. Today I decided just to do a little ice in there. Don't know why, just decided to do it. Anyway, so it's been a while since I've actually done a stream. The last time we did Elk Stack. The time before that we did what did we do? We built a cuckoo box. And we did an okay job on that finally, and we need to revisit the cuckoo box and get it set up as far as actually put in a virtual machine and everything. But as far as the installation, everything's running. And then Elk Stack, we got things running. The Cabana is running. Elasticsearch is running. The only things that aren't running is Logstash. And we also have some other stuff as well going on in there that we don't have. So we got to get that figured out too. So I figured, though, it's the holidays, it's getting busy, it's very hard to do a project, to do something out of the blue. There's a lot of things we have going on. I was at an ISSA party last night, and holiday party, and I had a smoking hat, a smoking jacket, and my velvet loafers. I used to have a vape pipe, I know, like hipster as hell, and I should have had that there, so I could have went, yes, along with like some kind of like, overly sized chalice of Dr. Pepper or something, just to make it comical. So I was doing that. But anyway, so I won a special prize. And the special prize I won was a Cana kit. And for those of you who don't know what Cana kits are, I need to tear some of this PII off. There we go. So this Cana kit, basically, this is a wonderful holiday gift you can give to somebody who might want to, run a RetroPie at home. You could easily build one and give it to them preloaded with a whole bunch of their favorite games from when they were a kid, or give their kids some way to interact with your nostalgia. And another thing we can build with it is a PiHole. And so that's what I've always wanted to do. I've never actually set out to do it. So I figured the stream is the proper place to actually start doing this. So in my tweet, I said we were going to basically unbox the Pi and go from there. Because so many times when you go and watch watch a YouTube video or whatever, they don't actually show you what went into. They're like, okay, so here's your Pi, and so now you just do this and this. Like, there's a few steps missing between what you just did there and what you did there. So we're actually going to be running through, as you know how I like to do this series. This is not necessarily a how to do it right. It's more of a, hey, this is us trying to figure out how to do it right. And we're on this adventure of fail together because we're going to do something wrong at some point. So, Cana Kit comes with an HDMI cable, which is helpful if you don't have an HDMI cable. Luckily, I already have my TV, which is just right there, and I'm going to be hooking it up to that, and we'll be using that. I already have a really long HDMI cable on that, so I won't need this. So I'm going to put this in my little cable pile I have running in my office that of cables that I may or may not need. So I'll probably keep a few HDMI cables around, but after a while, it's like I got to give them to Circle City Con or something. Meanwhile, we're not sponsored by Circle City Con, but I run it, so I might as well plug it. Circle City Con is running a holiday early bird special. It's $100 for regular tickets, and there's only 100 of them. There's plenty still left, but I know last year we got really tight at the end, so hopefully, we sell out before New Year's Eve. Even that would be great. Christmas miracle. But last year we had 600 registrants about, and that was fantastic because we've only ever like made it up to 500, and then to see Circle CityCon 5 break up all the way to 600, we're like, whoa. How are we going to handle this? So, we may be victims of our own success here soon, which is never a bad thing to have. We just got to manage that. But anyway, this is going to be fantastic. It's a great con. This year is going to be about space. As always, the theme actually doesn't have to do anything with your conference experience, so you can just go see the talks. There's talks at a con. You can go see the talks. You can go do our trainings, which are free. If you want to reserve space, which I do recommend, we do have a $5 holding fee just to make sure your butt's going to be in the seat. And by the way, if you don't arrive on time for this thing that you paid only $5 for, you may not get in if it's like, a half hour later, because we'll let people in the door. So, if you paid $500 for the seat, we keep that seat open for you the entire time. No one's taking that seat. But it may be a little discourteous to your trainer who's only there for 4 hours to shove a lot of content for you. So, it's up to their discretion anyway. Kind of keep that in mind, but we do have free trainings. Everyone loves them. They're kind of a hallmark. We usually get around 15 of them to do, and people love it. And then we have Hack for Kids, where a lot of times we bring in Raspberry Pis, and we have other things that we do there, cryptography, ciphers by hand. We have lockpicking there. We have a lockpicking village usually. Last year we did a hardware hacking village. I plan on trying to get those guys from Mr. Blinky Bling back in. We love them, but if not, that's fine. But go check out Mr. Blinky Bling. They're great too for all your hardware hacking. I was gonna see if I had my I do. Let's see. I may end up pulling my headphones off here. Reach back and pull this. I think this is a B-Sides Charleston one, but at the Hardware Hacking Village at Circle CityCon last year, even though I run the damn conference, I never soldered before. And so this was my first solder project, basically. And so really cool. And I have some gnarly balls here, which is what you call when you actually solder and everything. So these aren't looking too good. You don't want them looking like this, but it does work. So if I put batteries in here, the colors all alternate and everything. So so that was a fun project. So even if you've never learned to solder before, that's why they're there. They'll teach you how to solder. You can bring your own kit. They also have kits to sell. But yeah, go check them out. Mr. Blinky Bling, and I think it's Blenster on Twitter, and Charles the Hat on Twitter as well. Anyway, that's enough plugging, everyone. Let's get into the actual thing. So first thing is first. Let's. This is going to be the Raspberry Pi. Important note: handle the micro SD memory card with extreme care to avoid it being bent, cracked, or fractured. Physically damaged card may overheat. Oh my! Thank you. So here's our little 32 gig chip. It's a chip. It's an SD card. It's an whatever. It's an SD micro card. No. It's like opening a prophylactic. Yeah. Don't put it on wrong. Here we go. There we go. Oh. 32 gigs. Now, I mean, that's not impressive. They can put 256 megs on here now. On an SD card. What? I mean, not even an SD card, a little one. Like, I mean, I'm young, but people were crying when like the 8 megabyte hard drive came out, and it was like, oh, and it was heavy, and it's like $3,000 for an 8 megabyte hard disk drive, and it's like, oh my, do a lot of business with that, and now it's like, yeah, we can fit, do the math. It's metric, I suppose, but do the math. It's like 8 megabytes. 32 gigs. It's like, This is ridiculous amount. It's like, what, 400 times? 4,000 times? Almost 4,000. Yeah, 4,000 times. 4,000. Anyway, I'm not good at math. Yeah, 4,000 times, let's say. 4,000 times the storage. Down to here. Ridiculous. Of course, they're using totally different methods. But ridiculous. It's amazing what we're able to do. Anyway, we're going to have far more of that as we get older, of course. But so, and then here's the Raspberry Pi. I love these. I always love saving anti-static bags. So this is one thing. I mean, I have a bunch of them. Smell that board. Oh, wow. Oh, look at that. Still has some of the, some PCB here where they kind of broke it off or whatever. But, wow. That's a interesting smell. No, I have not been smoking. Love the smell of electronics. That's pretty good. That's a good solder there. Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, Raspberry Pi. So for those of you who have never seen a Raspberry Pi before, this is the Raspberry Pi 3. You get 1, 2, 3, 4 USB ports. I think they're USB 3. They may just be USB 2. Let's read here. They may say. Nope. And then you do get an RJ45. Off to the side here, you have a power port. You also have an HDMI. And I think that this is analog video out. Or analog audio out, maybe. And then you have kind of an expansion here. You can put a camera here. And it's like a zero force insertion. So that's for like a display. This is for, I guess this is actually the camera. There's a camera socket specifically built. This is for a display. So if you had a liquid crystal display, there's people who have all kinds of rigs you can put on and it plugs right down in there. This is a GP input output, which I don't know what GP stands for. But basically, there's all of these little things that you can use. And so what do you want to use? I don't know. You could use a few pins for some lights, another few pins for a camera, security camera or something. Like, there's all kinds of things you can do. There's probably programmable logic control systems you can do to shut things off, shut a valve off or whatever. So, a lot of interesting things you can do with here, things that I don't even know how to do. There's robotics things you can do with this. You can, program it to send electrical currents down to the motor to turn it certain ways. So a lot of things you can do here. Very powerful machine. Let's see if it says what all it has on it. As far as memory, I forget how much memory this has. I think it's at least 1 gig, though. That's a lot of memory for a little machine. You can use it as a little... You can put Ubuntu on it, believe it or not. Ubuntu's starting to become kind of like Doom. It's like, how many things can we put Ubuntu on? We've put... I know we've put Doom on ATMs. That's for damn sure. Yeah, I didn't know if they were going to say exactly how much is in there. Nope, just a bunch of... East Asian language that I don't understand. So this is just the regulatory compliance. No one wants that. So yeah, let's go see. Oh, all right, that's fine. So that's important. I'm gonna slide this back in here just for safeties. Just for safeties. There's also a power port on here that just takes the standard USB micro. Okay, so that's cool. And then I have the chip there, and it'll go inside there as well. Oh, one thing I absolutely love about the Kana kit as well. You may be wondering, well, how are you going to, get any data on this? Well, you would need, an adapter, So, but not everybody has wonderful little SD to X or micro SD to SD adapters to slide in a slot on their computer, because not every computer has a slot. a micro SD reader. Well, KanaKit comes with a micro SD reader, and they even have like a little kanakit.com/noobs. These apparently are highly reliable across multiple systems from some of the things I've seen people do with them. So that's pretty interesting. I know I built at B-Sides Indie last year, there was a good class on, what did we build? We built a little small system. I think Chester was in that. I forget all the other people who were actually in that class teaching. So I'm sorry about that. But essentially, we were building a web application, or not really web application, so much as we were building an IoT hacking rig out of this. So what we would do is we would essentially we did some certificate trusting stuff, so our websites on the phone would come up, but we would use a phone then to route through that, and we would make connection attempts to like Philips Hue or Amazon's Alexa system, or whatever, and we would then be able to see, okay, what kind of traffic are we seeing and what kind of requests are going back and forth, because we're doing HTTPS inspection as well as a man in the middle. So a lot of fun stuff going on there. And to me, it's a little bit more experimental and fun. It's not meant for industrial application use. It's meant very much for set this up and test this very specific thing. But yeah, so this is how simple this is. This comes on a little keychain. If you don't have fingernails, it's a little harder to pull micro SD cards out. Oh gosh. But anyway, so you can see the front of this USB port is essentially where you put the SD card. You just pop it right in there, and then you pop this in your computer, and you have a way now to access your SD card and write data to it. So what we're going to write is we're going to write an image for Raspbian, I believe. And then we're going to make sure we can SSH to and from it. And then we're also going to make sure that we can make HTTP and HTTPS requests to it, because we're going to be able to get a web UI for this. So yeah, once again here, just a little, and there's just a little slot in the top there. Hopefully that's focusing properly. And there's just a little slot, it just pops right in there. Pop. Awesome. And then it's great because then you can just have this, pop the cap on there, and then chunk this in your Go kit or something when you go out places. So to do nefarious deeds. So this is important. These are the heat sinks, which we will be applying. And then also we have, get it out here. We also have a, what are these called? These are AC adapters. A little bulky, I don't like that, but the thing is it's the proper amperage and voltage and all that good stuff. So always important. You never want to underpower a Raspberry Pi. Don't think your phone charger will just cut it. You want to make sure you're going to have the appropriate voltage. For instance, if you're running a RetroPie and you try running under voltage, you're going to notice Sonic doesn't move at blast processing speeds. So you're going to have to, be mindful of that. And then this is like the best case that I have found for Raspberry Pi ever. I find really no problems with it. So essentially, I've just removed a top portion of the case, and I have access to all kinds of bits, including the heatsink. I have my GPIOs. I have all kinds of things that I can have access to here. So I could just leave this open like this, and everything's great. I can slide my camera cable down here, and everything's awesome. And even when it's plugged up this way, there's still a little bit of room. You could fit really thin wires in there. So, or the belts, the little belts or bands for the camera cable. So that's there. And just make sure I haven't missed anything. You do get a little guide to start working with your Kana kit, and essentially they go on to tell you they're going to try, and the Kana kit originally is to try and essentially set you up a media center. So that's the kind of built-in kit here, is set you up as a media center. And let's see here, they're using OpenELEC, which is XBMC, and Kodi. So they're basically just using Kodi for that, and everything's going well there. And you can put all your, serve up your own videos and everything else on your TV through the Kana kit, through the Raspberry Pi. So we're going to actually spend some time and get some things put together here. And I kind of wish I would have done this on the other table since it has proper workspace. But I will make do with what I have here. And we'll move some things around. And I will get this down to where you can see it. I want to make sure any kind of like... I want to make sure all my stuff here is good. Throw that away. I don't need that. Okay. So we'll start by assembling the Raspberry Pi. So I'm going to bring you guys in here. All right. I think that's good. Right? All right. I'm going to try to make sure as I'm doing this, I have this up on my monitor here so I can make sure and see what I'm seeing. So I'm just going to keep this anti-static mat out for anti-static purposes. Make sure we're in plain view here. So we've got 2 heat sinks. I'll get those out as well. Let's see. Here we go. Trying to get you at enough of an angle to where you can see what's going on. Probably going to be blocked by my hand a little bit, but whatever. We'll figure it out. All right, so there are 2 chips that need some heatsink. And this is our beautiful board here. Let's see if it focuses in on that. Yep, there it is. We have Broadcom, and then we have our other, I don't think the lighting's going to work quite right for that. But we have another chip, and let's see if I can read it even. It's the SMSC, and the other one's Broadcom. So, yeah. So we're going to put our heatsink on first. And there's always a question of, you know, how you want to do it. Do you want it going up and down, or do you want it going left and right? Is there a right way? Is there a wrong way? And they don't show us. Oops. Get a thermometer reading there. I don't think they really show us on the thing there. So I know I have another one of these and I could reference, but I don't think I have it around here, so we're not going to worry. When you have no fingernails because you bite them, you aren't able to peel things very well. So I'm trying to just peel this top layer of tape off, or this adhesive saver, adhesive fresher. should probably have forceps because I don't have biceps. Oh, put me on Johnny Carson. You kids are too young for that. So am I. All right, so we're gonna put this one obviously on the big one. I'm just gonna have it going up and down. Now let's do it with my right hand here so you can see me doing it. Just get that on there. Push that on. Cool. And get this little guy on. Probably should have put the little guy on first because I'll have a little bit less space. I'm going to turn this around a little bit so I can have some better space. This is a really good idea for a Christmas gift for a nerd because even if they already have a Raspberry Pi, there's always another project. And especially if they only have the Raspberry Pi 2 or the original Raspberry Pi, they could always use an upgrade. So always think about this. Again, the Kana kit is perfect because, again, you get these little heat sinks. And people have, and you know, there may be some people who don't want the heat sinks like this. Maybe they want to have their own built-in fan system. Because there are kits that have fans built in. Maybe, you know, they're building some kind of you know, high-speed rig for cracking passwords or, you know, mining Ethereum or whatever. So cool. And so here's the case for it. Got a little raspberry there, and I'm just gonna put this face down, and this circuitry down. Just make sure, again, kind of everything matches up, right? Everything matches up. In fact, I may have had to put it on here. I'm not sure. Huh. There's some like mounting grommets here. Little holes right there. Kind of see how this hole here is just a little bit bigger than the others, and it's actually a proper hole rather than a little cone down or whatever. This goes back here where the SD card is. And of course it matches up with the slots on the left and the right. So cool. Oh, get this part down. Oh, let's try that again. Might take a couple times to get this right. Well, let's see if I'm actually supposed to assemble it the other way. Grr. Maybe I need to assemble it this way first. It's like a special aha. So interesting. There is a retaining clip. I did not realize the first time I messed with this, and I'm pointing not in any way to the camera. So back where the SD card slot is, back here, there's a retaining clip right here, and that's what keeps the board on there. So you want to make sure you actually put it in this way first, and you want to actually get it in that retaining clip. Oh, it actually goes this way. You want to make sure you just get it under that retaining clip. There we go. That's perfect now. See how that retaining clip goes right over that, whereas before I was trying to force it, it was going on top of that. So that's actually really nice. So that way you know you have a fit. And then we'll just pop this right on top. Again, this isn't a how-to video. If it was a how-to video, I would have been cutting this already, and I would have already had this done for you. And, you know, this is a kind of learning and doing this with you at the same time kind of thing. I have people blowing my phone up. People I love. So they're okay. All you other suckers, watch out. This is a little delicate. You don't want to break either the case or the circuit board, but you also want to get everything on there. I don't think this board was cut completely correct, so that doesn't help our case here. Literally our case. I might end up pinching my finger, which is gonna be fine. I'll do it for science. For science. And asbestos. For those of you who have watched or played Portal 2. Okay, did that do it? For some reason, I latched it. Okay, cool. And then we can place this on here. Yeah. So there's little curved slots here. Curved slot there, and there's a curved peg here, and a curved peg here. I want to actually hold it up so you guys can see it. And, yep, just goes right on top. Just goes right on top. Aha, and then this little slot here goes right over there. So, again, sorry about that. Again, you know that you have a good fit. And it's, you know, it's black, non-obtrusive. You could put stickers on it and whatnot. I would avoid covering the Raspberry logo because you have airflow down here and airflow up there. And again, if you want to really have airflow, just take the top off. Now you've got all kinds of airflow. And you have access to all of your stuff. So cool. Awesome. We did it, right? We did a thing. But that's not it. There's more. There's so much more now that we have to do. So cool. Let me get the camera back up here because my pretty face has not been on your screen long enough this session. And sorry about that. Good thing I'm wearing pants. Ha ha. I've actually joked about that with people about being on like web conferences and stuff like that about not wearing pants, and honestly no one would ever know because I don't ever do video. But it's like, yeah, when I stream, one of my checks I do before I go on stream is, do I have pants? To make sure, in cases such as that, if you get a bit of a crotch shot there with my jeans, then you're only seeing denim. You're not seeing anything else. So let me take a drink for our celebratory assembling here. That's a good stuff. Some Woodward Reserve there. Cool. And we're only 39 minutes in. Whatnot. Something else I got at the Tanium booth at the ISSA event. Not really plugging Tanium as a security company, just plugging them as a swag company. At Circle City Con, I think 2 or 3, we were giving out USB condoms. I don't know if Tanium wants to be calling them that, but that's what they are. When you need to plug it in questionable holes, ladies and gentlemen, wear your USB condom on the end of your USB port. So if you ever need, like at an airport, or get this up a little bit, seeing too much of my chest, my cleavage. So if you ever need to like go to an airport or someplace where they're packing the where they have like USB ports. Oh, charge your phone here and it's USB port. Plug it in here. They plug it in here first and then plug it into the USB wall outlet. Basically, it shuts down the data port pins. Data pins. So you're only using the electric rails. You're not using the data pins at all. So there's no way that someone could, gather your information. Only that they would gather maybe how much power you're using. There's some crazy stuff though out there because there are companies now that are able to start figuring out, like your electric companies are now starting to be able to figure out hey, your refrigerator's, they don't have to call you and say, is your refrigerator running? They actually can call you and say, hey, your refrigerator is actually acting up a bit because we're noticing some weird power poles that are exactly like a refrigerator failing. So you might want to get your refrigerator taken a look at. It's like, whoa, what? So there's some crazy stuff that people are actually able to do based on power poles. So, you know, realize that everything that we do is data. Me waving my hands around technically is data. Brent Spiner is data. So, Star Trek joke. I'm gonna plug this USB in. Gotta plug it upside down. And then so I'm gonna go ahead and take a look at PiHole. Or actually, no, I need to get Raspbian first. So, Raspbian. Yeah, Raspbian. Let's get it on there. Desktop and recommended software. Yeah, that would be nice. Raspbian Stretch. Yeah. Shouldn't be bad. Probably should have already downloaded this. I bet you it's a gig or so. Yeah, it is. Okay, that's fine. And recommended software. Well, it is recommended software. Let's see how long this is going to take to download. It's only a gig. It's only 1 and 8. Actually, I didn't want to open it. I wanted to save it. So I'm going to cancel that real quick. I'm going to download the zip. And we're going to save it. There we go. And I'm going to download the torrent because let's see which one's quicker. Yeah, sure. Open. Woo! Let's see which one's faster. It's saying 27 minutes left over there. And let's see what we're getting over here. On Mr. I don't know why he's a Mr., but Mr. Torrent. Well, so far it's downloading from 0 peers, so apparently a lot of people are not really wanting to serve this up. Peers trackers. Got a list of 80 peers from tracker.rpi.org, so apparently there's 80 peers. Fun, fun, fun. So 27 minutes. I am terribly sorry for boring you that long. Oh, it's going to be even longer. Okay, so this is going to be fun. Yeah, their stuff isn't yeah. So okay, so this is fun. Yeah. So let's go ahead and see what the with the basic desktop, how long that's going to take. Oh boy, that was going to be 2 hours there. Like, really? I don't think so. This one's going to be 17 minutes, and it's only a gig, so. But that's increasing, so. Fun. So, what is PiHole? Okay, so PiHole is a black hole on a Raspberry Pi. DNS black hole on a Raspberry Pi. The purpose of this DNS black hole is to stop advertising on websites while you're browsing. Now, sorry, advertisers. I mean, that's, you know, you're doing an important thing by driving people to your capitalist sites, and I don't know. I'm not a communist. Don't put me on a blacklist. Again, too young to know what that is. But yeah, there's a lot of advertisements out there that just spin up on websites and pop up and play and like, hey, you know, yeah, I'm an advertisement. And it's like, nobody wants you. Nobody asked for you. Nobody wants you. Amazon, I'm sorry, but yeah, I looked at those boots 5 weeks ago. I didn't buy them. Showing me the same damn pair of boots, not gonna make me buy them. So, yeah. Yeah, so that's basically what it is. But really, there's a lot of malicious advertisements. And even when I go on stuff like my old hometown in southern Indiana, my old hometown, like their website, like a lot of news sites are terrible at this, like small town news sites. They have AdSense, or they have a lot of ads that end up becoming very malicious, and they take you to scam sites, or they take you to malicious drive-by downloads. Whoa. And so yeah, so there's a lot of that going on, and this stops it. So essentially, as we all know, for those who need a remedial internet talk, you obviously don't go to google.com, you go to some IP address. But on the internet, google.com means an IP address, or one of many, depending on what site you're actually going to. So who decides that? Well, it's Domain Name Service, DNS. And so this is a service that is out there on the internet running all over the place. You can set up your own DNS server and have it as do forward lookups, do your own private lookups. You can call your Chromecast sniggledy friggledy, and you can then shoot stuff up on your Chromecast via that. There's a lot of things you can do with a private DNS server, and so this is essentially a private DNS server. But what it has is a list of domain names used by advertisements, especially malicious ones, but just advertisements in general. And so it keeps a list of domain names. So whenever you load a web page and it's loading that content, what it's going to do is it's going to come to a content. There's going to be a hyperlink there saying this content exists at blah, 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 dot, blah, 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 and slash a whole bunch of stuff. And so it'll go there, grab that stuff, and load it in that little spot where the markup language says it should exist. So that has to be a domain name request, a domain request, a DNS request that goes out. Well, by default, your company is probably pointing you either to their internal DNS server or to some DNS server like Google or something that they trust. Internally at home, you're usually using your ISP's DNS server. Like I think Comcast is like 76, 76, 76, and then 74, 74, 74, 74. So Google's is 8.8.8.8. 8.8.4.4. I think IBM is now 2.2.2.2. So, so there's a lot out there that are easy to remember. PiHole, essentially, you can set that in your home router. You can set it in your own home lab for DHCP, for whatever. You can say, hey, you can even hard code your own machines. You can say, hey, everyone is going to use this DNS server for DNS requests. And the Raspberry Pi acts like a DNS server. If it doesn't know the answer for the request, it goes and looks it up as a forwarder and grabs back the answer and tells you. Theoretically, supposed to be quicker, right? Because it has the answers right there. It'll queue up and do domain cache as well. So it'll keep some of that alive for you. But for browsing the internet, absolutely. I know a friend's in the local community. He's running 6 Raspberry Pis with a Docker, in a Docker swarm. I don't even know what a Docker swarm is. Haven't started playing with Docker. That's probably something we'll do on this podcast at some point, or this live stream at some point, because we need to get involved more in that stuff. As security, we need to be doing a better job getting involved in container security. So I'm going to be a part of that. So I'm going to cancel this oh wow, it's like my internet speed, and I think it's actually mostly whoever I'm connecting up with on the internet is what I'm actually going and doing. So start now. Very weird. All right, well, we'll just remove this torrent because it's obviously not doing anything. And of course I'm uploading, so maybe there's maybe I'm taking up quite a bit of a thing, but it keeps blasting up to 600 kilobits per second and back down. So we're about a fifth of the way there. So kind of boring, I guess. But essentially, the next step after this is to get the operating system set up, and just kind of take a look at that, and make sure SSH is available to us, make sure HTTP and HTTPS will be available to us. And then all we really have to do is run a command from SSH that is then going to pull down PiHole and install it on our Raspberry Pi. It's actually a very simple command. So I think we'll actually have this done quicker than I think. So let's take a look at PiHole, a black hole for internet advertisements. You can donate to the Patreon. No client-side software is required. So yeah, so it's just a curl-SSL, S, capital L, https://install.pihole.net, pipe it to bash. So basically your response that you're going to get from this web server is going to be exactly what goes into bash. Or if you have Docker installed on your Pi, then, and you're in a Docker swarm or something, then you can do a Docker pull PiHole/PiHole. And you can do that on, and here's the thing too, it's called PiHole, but you don't have to run it on a Raspberry Pi. You can run this on a Linux Ubuntu box. You can run this on, you could set up Docker somewhere on the internet, just set up a Docker instance and then do a Docker pull PiHole/PiHole. You could set up a virtual machine up in Azure, AWS, Google, Oracle. There's a lot of places you could do this, and a lot of reasons why you could do this. I mean, you could set up a big Docker swarm on the internet. We are back. Back again. Odd Job's back. Tell a friend. Guess who's back? Guess who's back? Okay. Sweet. So yeah, I can open this file now. Where did it go? Right there. Right there, silly. I'm gonna pop this over onto desktop. Oh. Okay. Nope, don't need to run it. Don't need to run it. So, desktop. Extract there. So, cool. You can install it with noobs or download the image below and follow our installation guide. Oh. So I could have done something else. Yeah, no one wants to do that. Is an easy operating system installer which contains Raspbian and LibreElec. Cool. So I could have downloaded that. And yeah, and it's still like 1.3 gigs, but we're going to do it anyway. So cool. So let us take a look at this wonderful installation guide. Download the image. I bet you there's a DD that we have to do. Writing to your SD card. Download Etcher. It's the easiest option. For advanced control of this process, we can use DD. Cool. Oh, cool. I did not know you could run DD with status equals progress to be able to check. That is so fucking rad. You'll learn something every day. Cool. So we're just going to DD this stuff. All right. Why not do the more advanced thing? Right, clear. LSBLK. What happens when I take that out? What is different? SDB is different. Cool. Let's make sure it gets SDB again. Yep. So, cool. The left column of the results, and it will be, let's see, LSB. So it'll be listed as /dev/SDB. Where X is lowercase. Okay. So if any partitions on the SD have been mounted, unmount them all with unmounts. Or umount /dev/SDB1. It's not mounted. Good. Copy the image to the SD card. Yay. So let's do it. dd bs equals 4m. Input file equals /home/oddjob/desktop. Yeah, there's my image. OF equals, and everything in Linux is a file, by the way, just in case someone didn't know out there. Everything is a file. So, oh, nope. So we're just going to put on SDB. Cool. We're going to do fsync, and we're going to also do and you can't see this off to the side now. We're also going to do a status equals progress. Okay. Unrecognized operand. Conv equals fsync. Oh, conv, not conf. Permission denied because I did not sudo. Sudo u. There we go. Cool. That is so much better now that I can have a nice progress. I have progress. That is so fucking rad. Oh my god. So cool. So yeah. Awesome. So this is going to go by in no time. And that's 61 megabytes per second, not megabits, megabytes. So that's quite a bit of data just kind of going on there. Sorry, I'm just admiring how wide of an angle I actually do have on my... keep that off there. Keep my screen off there. I'm not watching porn, it's just... there's stuff there. Yeah, you can kind of see the door to my utility closet there. Yeah, so you can see my my little nerd collection up here. I've got all my little doodly-doos up there. I've got Zidane, Cloud, Titus or Titus, Squall. I've got Mega Man. I've got Ganondorf. I have Oddjob because I'm Oddjob. I have Oddjob, and then I have a Time Lord TARDIS. And then I also have a cool Final Fantasy VII shadow box, which is basically just like 4 panes of glass and a backdrop. And someone has painstakingly cut out and made decals of that artwork that you see on usually the front cover of the you see on the front cover of the game case. Or some of the artwork that you'll see in game as well. So they just do that. They also do a lot of others. They do like Earthbounds. I think they've done Castlevania. Basically, all they do, I think, is they just take it into like a emulator, and then they just cut out little sprites and everything, and they just arrange them on there, and decals. So it gives a 3D effect. It's pretty cool. They make a little desk stuff. It's called I think it's called Artrovision, kind of like Retrovision, only Artrovision. And they also make like little desktop versions of those. And so it's kind of got like a little bit of a layered effect to it as well. So the light is still blinking, so we'll give it a little bit longer here. Sorry I had to take a bit of a break, but we were basically doing nothing, so let's see if I have any watchers now. Nope. Perfectly fine. Go ahead and follow some people here who've been taking care to like and retweet my stuff. Boop, boop, doop, boop, boop. So I've been thinking about doing a, in addition to live streams of, now that I'm kind of leaning back here, I want my face to be more in the shot, I guess. Now that I've been streaming, I've been kind of doing once a month now. Not a bad rate, but I kind of want to do more. I'm thinking now of doing weekly 10-minute rants on security, or maybe looking at a piece of news in security that's hitting the Twitter sphere hard, and just giving some of my opinions on it. Call it a glass of OJ. So maybe that's what I'm going to call it. I know I've been thinking about doing a blog series for a while called The Glass of OJ, and do that, but I'm actually thinking about doing a podcast series as well. Basically, I'd be here or on my phone or something, and yeah, just give my opinion of the day. There could be something stupid someone said on Twitter, and I won't maybe name the person, but if there's like opinions that are going on, like, oh, we should just stop using password managers. Oh my god, that pissed me off so much that one time. Someone went, we should just stop using password managers because they could, basically get in and steal your passwords. And I'm like, that's not really what's going on. And, that's stupid, because I can just use a dictionary attack then if you're not using a password manager. So at least with a password manager, you kind of have to, actually put in extra effort. And it's not trivial. Like it's pretty intensive what you'd have to do. So, or not intensive, but it's like you'd have to actually target someone heavy. Couldn't really just go out and grab a bunch of stuff. So this should now have Raspberry Pi or Raspbian on it already installed, and of course me without actual fingernails. I'm gonna just take this and see if I can pop it that way. Yay. So when you insert it, there is a little spring load to it. You normally enter it in with the actual contacts facing the board, because you'll notice there are contacts on the board, so you just slide it in there. There is a spring-loaded nature to this, so that it's in all the way, and you just pop it in there, feel it spring load. Maybe it's not anymore. There used to be one that it was actually spring loaded. Maybe they stopped that. Yep, they stopped that. Okay, cool. Well, anyway, basically you can't push it any further. that's all cool. So now I'm going to pop over here. I think I have space. Let me see here. Can I pop this over here? Yeah, there we go. Have a little bit of some stuff here. Okay. So the other cool thing about the Raspberry Pi is it also has Wi-Fi built in, so you don't actually have to get a separate Wi-Fi thing. However, I think KanaKit also sells, and I thought I had it up here. They also sell Wi-Fi. Yeah. So KanaKit also sells little Wi-Fi dongles as well. So past Raspberry Pi models didn't have that. And I believe it also has Bluetooth. There's a lot that's on that single board there. So that is an on-off switch. I do not need to touch that. That is open. There. And there. There. And then what I am going to do is I'm going to steal this Logitech keyboard. And I'm going to pop that in here. Agaru. It says, please wait. HDMI 2. Hello. Might have to reboot. Let's try rebooting. Ooh, God. Alright, let's try that. Ah, there we go. Got the nice little colors. Little 4 raspberries up in the top left. Welcome to Raspberry Pi Desktop. Cool. Should I plug in physically or wirelessly? I need to angle this TV down at some point. Welcome to Raspberry Pi Desktop. A few things to set up. This is gonna be United States, American English, and time zone, not Chicago. Let's say Naptown. Use the US keyboard layout. So it's a nice desktop, and then you just kind of set some stuff up. So, going to be entering a new password. So, hopefully you can't figure out what my password is from watching my fingers. Yep, and I did not hold down caps long enough for that. So there. Oh, there we go. Scanning for networks. And I'm going to do this on the Wi-Fi. Later, I'm going to plug it in to my firewall directly. But for now, we're just going to connect it to this. Actually, we're going to go even crazier. I'm going to connect it to my other Wi-Fi that I have in here that my computer is connected to, because it kind of has access to everything, and everything should have access to it, I think. Well, operating system applications now be checked and updated if necessary. Cool. Checking for updates. Always run the updates. Always run the updates. Never not run the updates. Always run the updates. Yeah, I'm still in the business of getting my office cleaned up, so that's why you see some trash bags back there. There's various things I'm tossing out and getting rid of because I have like 5 of them or whatnot, so sorry about that. I'll take a little extra drink here while we wait. And then I'll check SSH server to see if we have an SSH server. And then I will put probably the rest over here and work off that. In fact, I'll go ahead and see if the SSH server is running. ifconfig. Because who likes IP tools? Or IP? Nobody does that too. Really? It's 200.2. Okay, cool. Awesome. Netstats. Dash town. Is it listening on 22? No. SSHD. Cool. So SSHD does exist. So start service SSHD. Oh, service start then. Service SSHD start. Oh. Oh. Oh, so it's just not a service found. Okay, what about SSH? That's fun. Okay. Okay. So now let's see on town. Aha. So I do have it. All right. So, ugh. Looks like I'm trying to swim in a shallow end. Like, whew. All right. Let's see here. So SSH, Pi. I'll have to change the username at some point. Pi at 192.168.200.2. Yes. And cool. Hello there. That's awesome. System is up to date now. Sweet. Awesome. So, folks, the only thing we're going to be doing here now is we are going to be running this. Let's do it. All right, get wrecked. Here we go. The root user check failed, notice. So it went and tried to do sudo the same command, and it worked. Scary stuff, folks. Oh, look at that. It's installing packages. There we go. The installer will transform your device into a network-wide ad blocker. Okay. PiHole is free, but powered by your donations. Thank you. It's a server, so it needs a static IP address to function. Next session, you can choose to your current network settings. Okay, cool. Let's currently use that. Cool. Upstream, we're going to use Google. Yeah, let's use all those lists for now. Yeah, block IPv6 and IPv4. Do you want to use your current network stick? Yes. It is possible your router could still try to sign. Okay, so basically they're saying, do you wish us install the web user interface? Yes, totally. Do you wish to install the web server? Yes. Cool. Do you want to log queries? Absolutely, because we will shove that into, guess what? You guessed it, we're going to shove that into Elk at some point, sure. And see all the porn that I watch, I guess. Select a privacy mode for FTL. Hide domains and clients? Anonymous mode. Ooh. Anonymous mode. Disabled statistics. Hide domains and clients. Interesting. Let's show everything. Why not? Let's show everything for now. Oops. Did I accidentally do a thing? I think it did well. Okay. Okay, so it's now installing. Okay. I thought I hit 3 and now it was all of a sudden like, rip. Okay. So that's going. What was the next thing I was going to do? Or something I was going to do. Something I was going to check. Oh, I want to check my firewall. So... Oh, yeah, because it's not 443. There we go. There we go. Don't. So what I need to do is I need to change the network DNS. Primary DNS server now. Use the FortiGuard servers. Cute. That allows me to do a lot of fun stuff. Let me see for my DHCP addresses. SwordSwitch VLANs. Let me see if might be under SSIDs. Under DHCP. Specify 192.16. God damn it. 168.200.2. Advanced. Cool. Sweet. And save. And let's do the same for the house Wi-Fi. House Wi-Fi. And I've been using just Google, I guess. So 192.168.200.2. Okay. And actually, I probably should have put this on the household Wi-Fi. So now I'm going to have to create a policy object, or a policy, that says everyone can talk on DNS to that. So internal DNS, incoming interface, any, outgoing interface, should be to the Hydronet. Source is, should be all. Yeah. Destination address. PiHole 192.168.200.2. This will be on Hydronet. Okay, cool. So that's now there. So we'll put PiHole service DNS. except there is no natting needed for this rule, and we're not going to take a look at anything really on here. We're going to log all sessions, enable this policy. Oh, the incoming interface should be any. Can I just say any? No. You want me to actually say something? Well, yeah, I mean, it could be that. It could be a lot of interfaces. Well, we'll use ad hoc net for now. Cool. So very good. So this is now enabled and cool. You can set up, if you set up a new IP address, you should restart the Pi. Cool. The password is, yeah, so that's the default password I'll need to change. I don't even know if that's something I can copy out. So let's take a look at, in fact, I don't even want to do that. I want to do this over here. So now I should have a HTTPS 192.168.200.1 /admin. Not .1, .2. Unable to connect. Why is that? Well, maybe the installation wasn't complete. Huh. Okay. Let's see about yep, 80. 443 is okay. So it's not 443 enabled. Cool. Hey, look at that. We did a thing. That's awesome. I like it when we do a thing. So we did a thing and we installed PiHole. Look at how many domains on the block list we have. We have 136,000. One client has already made 33 queries. That may be our actual server. Forgot password. Alright, so now I need to figure out what password this is, because apparently I don't have a password now. So, password can be retrieved later on, cannot be retrieved later on, but it's possible to set a new password or explicitly disable the password using the command sudo PiHole-A-P. So let's do that. Sudo PiHole-A-P. Oh, not dash that, dash P. Enter a new password. Cool. Let's do that. Come on. Passwords don't match. New password set. Good. So let's try this. Don't save. Yay. Cool. So, yep. So we've got some cool stuff. So we got two clients that have now made queries. So these are our whitelists. So if we ever have something that we... No, go away. If we ever have something that we actually want added to a whitelist, because it's blocking it for some reason and we need it to work, it's maybe miscategorized something, we pop it in here. Blacklist. So we can do regex and wildcard blocking, and we can do exact or wildcard. So we can do add regex, add wildcard, all that good stuff. Disable permanently or enable? Enable. Ah, okay. So what you can do is you can disable for like 5 minutes, 30 seconds, for whatever time you want. Update gravity gets its new stuff. Gets new stuff for it. Long-term data graphics. Hey, queries over the selected period of time. So this is like, I don't know, all sorts of queries now we can run. Ah, cool. So some work stuff that nobody should be seeing right now. Yeah, cool. So we are seeing some stuff. And yeah. Interesting. ZeusTracker.abuse.ch. Oh, okay. So the local host. So PiHole's probably doing these lookups itself. That's probably where a lot of these are actually coming from. Cool. So how do I set my... How do I figure out... Oh, and they even have like a PayPal, Patreon donation. So you can go and donate. Oh, that's nice. Settings. Block lists. So here's all the block lists that are currently running. DNS. You can choose it to use a whole bunch of different DNS servers. You can customize your own IPs. Advanced DNS settings. Never forward non-FQDNs. Yes, so that's good. Never forward reverse lookups for private IP addresses. Yeah, because, you know, there should never be private IP addresses being looked up on the internet. So that's basic stuff. Listen only on the WLAN interface. Yeah, because that's the one we have it programmed to use. So, of course, we only want it to actually use that. DHCP. Basically, if you don't have a DHCP server on your router or on your network, you can use this as a DHCP server and it will listen in, and you can program your router to tell forward DHCP requests to that, and yeah, it'll handle it. So you can even do this as a poor man's or poor woman's, poor hackers DNS or DHCP. API web interface. Exclude the following domains from being shown. So I guess if you were at work or you had something you didn't want to show certain things, you could do that. I'm going to show Fahrenheit because it's important to me. Interface appearance. Use box layout. Helpful when working with large screens. Here's an administrator email address. Cool. Here's API token if you care about it. Cool. Awesome. Privacy. Show everything and record everything. Hide domains means this disables the top domains and top ad tables on the dashboard. Hide domains and clients. Display all and store all domains as hidden and clients as 000. This disables the tables and on the dashboard. Anonymous mode. This disables basically everything except for the live anonymous statistics. No history is saved at all to the database and nothing is shown in the query log. No statistics mode. Disables all statistics. Even the query counters will not be available. And if you do that, you can't do regex blocking. So basically, if you were wanting to use a PiHole as a public service, and you just wanted to let that run, like let's say you were at a conference and you didn't really want to know anything, you have various ways of anonymizing data, so that you could either publish it, so you could do research with it and be comfortable in publishing it and making sure that nobody's, you know, personal identifiable information is going to be in there, unless of course there was PII in the actual domains themselves. But you might be able to do stuff like that, so that would be interesting. So teleporter, export your PiHole list as downloadable archive. Okay, so I guess if you wanted to basically take all your lists out and then hand them off to somebody, you could do that. So yeah, cool, awesome. So if you've got really good regexes you like, then yeah. You can see what type of queries you're making out here, or using a or any service, printer, txt. Find a lot of interesting stuff. Google Play obviously is a big one. Mirror1.malwaredomains.com. I actually really don't care about the local stuff, but yeah, that's probably one of my that is probably one of my yeah, that's where that is. So that's my work PC actually. And then that's the local host. So those are the only things right now actually talking to it. So I think what I'm going to do now is I'm going to check and see what DNS server I have hardwired in for this current connection. And I'm really hoping that it does not bounce my Wi-Fi connection when I do this. But no, it doesn't have. It's just DHCP. So if I do a hard set on DNS, I do a hard set. Let's see, what is that? Cat etc resolve.conf. Etsy cat Etsy name. Now, where is DNS set? Let's say Ubuntu then. Network interfaces, DNS servers. If you have more than one DNS server, just add space between. Yeah, and then you have to update the settings. You have to shut down the interface and bring it on. Okay, so can't do it here for now. But we are starting to block stuff, which is good. Let's see if I start going to stuff. Should have 3 clients now, maybe. Maybe my Wi-Fi currently does not have the DNS server hard-coded. Let me hard-code the DNS server. Show, yeah, IP settings, static. And let's not use Google. Let's use this. Connect. Sweet. It's connecting, connected. So now I have 3 clients. Yeah, now I'm showing like no advertisements on this site at all now. This is pretty cool. So now I have .5. Nope, should be .4. Which it's now going to be showing a lot of stuff, I'm sure. Yep. Cool. So I've got my Plex server. That was okayed. I want to see what was blocked. Aha! Ooh, interesting. A lot of interesting stuff. Ping.chartbeat.net. See, now I don't know if there's a way to see what it was blocked by. Was it blocked by... is there a way to see if it was blocked by the malicious list? That's interesting. Let's go to a few sites that might actually have some maliciousness. Let's see, 100. Wow. I am seeing no ads on this site. Usually you see ads all over the place, and they're videos, and I am not seeing anything on this site. That is awesome. That's what we like to see. What about CNN.com? Where they should have ads all over the place. Well, they just kind of read as like a tabloid, it seems. So, where else have I seen a lot of ads in places? I can actually switch this back now. Where else have I seen ads in places? Let's check out here. And let's take a look at here and see what we got. Hopefully that doesn't automatically start. Good. Ha, that's funny. So those didn't load, but part of it loaded. Interesting. Very interesting. This usually has quite a few advertisements as well. Yeah, let's disable our audio here. Definitely don't want this audio going over the air. Cool. Nice. Looks like it works. Sweet. And yeah, let's take a look at the client. So this is all the block stuff. Trying to see if I can recognize any of them. Some of them I can. Yeah, we'll see how all this ends up working. This looks really good. Cool. Tools. So there is an audit log. Aha! Allowed queries, blocked queries. So actually you can come in here and you can audit. So what does audit mean? So when I audit that, oh, okay. I don't know what audit means. I don't know if that just means export that log. Like, I don't know what audit means. Okay. Interesting. Update gravity. Updating list of blocked domains. Success. How many block domains do we have now? Okay, so 136,000. So 25% of my traffic of my requests are being blocked right now. So 23.5. That's actually kind of cool. 87 blocked queries, 23.5% blocked queries. So that means 23.5% of my queried traffic is advertisement related. Stuff that I don't want to see. That's a lot of malware that can be hiding in there inside those advertisements, and you just now block that. So again, this is just a really cool thing. This is a cool project on a little low power device. If you wanted to set something up for your family, for instance, to keep them safe, your grandparents, your parents, your children, or whatever, safe from viruses and things, this is another thing you can do. You could run this on the internet somewhere. You could run this in your own lab. And you could essentially just say, yeah, I'm accepting DNS requests from you, and that's all I'm doing. And, you know, so it'll accept DNS requests and give it back. And, you know, you could keep them safe and keep them safe from the bad stuff, and you could maintain a good whitelist and blacklist for them. Again, since this is DNS blocking, you could then probably put in, you know, porn lists if you're trying to protect your kids. If you're trying to protect your kids from other types of sites you don't want them going to, you can pop those in there. So this can be used for a lot of good, you know, and a lot of research too. So if you run a conference or at a conference and you want to see some interesting stuff, put this in there, see how much would have been blocked, see how much has been blocked. And yeah, that might be something interesting to do, is have that. I may see if they want to do something like this at Circle CityCon and just show everyone, hey, this is how much advertising you guys are looking at that we blocked on this. So that might be interesting to actually take a look, and here's some anonymous data. I'll talk that over with the network team. We'll see what happens, but it's up to them. It's their team. But yeah, so we did a thing. So we built PiHole for the first time. That was fairly, once we got everything downloaded, this was fairly... So, if you've been watching this entire time, and you follow this from unboxing, not talking about what we were unboxing, but just unboxing, applying everything, putting it together, waiting for your download, doing all that simultaneously, this should take you no longer than an hour to set up. So if you know what you're doing, if you've watched and seen some stuff, this can really just take you an hour long just to set up. It's taking us 2 hours because of talking and narrating and doing a bunch of stuff. But yeah, so this can take you an hour. It's an hour project. That's it. That's literally all this took. And then it's just playing around and having fun. This is open source. So, of course, build stuff. You want something that does, you know, XYZ, then do that. If you want a mechanic that actually checks in the query and adds a column in here for, hey, which blacklist was this on, or which list actually got this, then go and make that. And so I plan on trying to figure out exactly what's actually getting hit there. Yeah, so was hoping to, yeah, so it's the 15th. God, it's already then. Let's do the 14th and through the 16th. Why not? Apply. Cool. So we do get to see that. Do we get to see top lists? Okay. Get the graphics. We can do it from the same time frame. Okay, so that just shows you that. And then when you do the query log, you can specify a time. There we go. Bam, bam, apply. You can take a look and see exactly what we've seen so far. And you can look at I guess you have to hit apply again. Yes. So yeah, that's definitely stuff I was looking at. Yeah, so you can actually get to see what, but it doesn't show you the actual list, which kind of pisses me off, but we might be able to code that. We might be able to do something and make our own code. I don't know. And then it just goes off to the side here. So this is really cool. I like this. I'll look to see if there's anything else I can turn on, but this is awesome. So the next step is to put this all into Elk Stack for some reason. Why not? So because this is a Ubuntu, basically a Raspberry server, it's a Debian server, we can probably throw find out where these logs are getting stored, and we can throw Elk's was it bit something bits, I think. So we can throw that on there. Anyway, thank everybody for coming out and actually watching this, whether you're seeing this now or later. There was a part where we were kind of waiting for like 20 minutes. I'm going to go ahead and just get rid of that, because we obviously don't want to see me just doing, you know, nothing for a while. So I'll probably cut that bit out while we're waiting on the download. So really this probably is only an hour and a half long video. So awesome. I'll get that done tonight or tomorrow morning, and we'll get that taken care of. But basically we've we've succeeded, so this is not so much a fail, just more of a failure in my presentation. But we're learning, and I keep hopefully getting better at every time I do this. The next project, I don't know what's going to be. It may just be revisiting the elk stack. It may be me just doing a little 10-minute riff on IT and IT security. Thanks, Wolf Gorlick. I might just do a little bit of a thing on that and see what's going on. But otherwise, fail along with me next time and give me some suggestions on what you want to see, and we'll try to build it. I think honeypot is in order too, so we'll take a look at that. Cowrie is looking very exciting there. We'll see ya.